Welcome back! This time, we return to Glen Creran in Argyll for a journey to Beinn Fhionnlaidh, a hidden gem tucked away in the wilds of Appin. We'll also follow the woodland sprites over the hidden fairy bridge and investigate the mystery of the Appin Murder. If you enjoy the show, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe, as that really helps the channel to grow, and that means more free content like this for you to enjoy. Yo! Here we are again at the entrance to Glen Creran. This time we're going to take the north bank of the loch and then continue along the road past Glasdrum, Fasnacloich, and then finally up to Glen which is where the start of the Beinn Fhionnlaidh track begins. This road is a bit of a higher one and it's a bit longer. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to bash along here. First stop, Glasdrum Wood. Well, here we are just approaching Glasdrum Wood. We're about roughly a third of the way along of our approach to Beinn Fhionnlaidh. Glasdrum Wood here is a national nature reserve. There's a little picnic table and woodland walks and what have you. So yeah, if you want a bit more of a chilled out saunter, you can head up here among this lovely, what looks like natural woodland, which is always what we like. Well, here we are at Beinn Creran. Little hamlet, smattering of houses. Looks like it might have been a little mill at one point along here, beside the stream. The quickest way up to the ferry bridge is to follow a path directly to your left here that runs behind some ruined buildings and up into the woodland. This leads to the enchanting ferry bridge, a miniature stone arch across a small stream beneath a picturesque little waterfall. This was built by woodland sprites in 1457 who were sick of getting wet feet while observing the locals. It was renovated by pixies from the Mythological Beings Society in 1986 with a grant from the Unseen University. Seriously though, why is it here? Because it is. Who built it? Get in the comments and let me know what you think, as long as it's not aliens. Beyond the ferry bridge, a path leads onto a small loop above Ellerick that leads to, and from, if you want to go in that direction, the car park. Finally, we make it to Ellerick, the public car park for Munroists taking on Beinn Fhionnlaidh, which is hidden behind the trees there. You can see Ellerick House down there, and further on we'll see Glen House, which was once home to Colin Campbell of Appin Murder infamy. He was the one who was murdered. Spoiler alert. And here we are at Glen. Pretty nice, isn't it? Nice pad. Dramatic backdrop of Ben Sculler up there. And Beinn Fhionnlaidh there, you can see catching the sunlight. Well, here we are encamped in the pine woods of Glen Creran, just on our way up to the bottom of the trail for Beinn Fhionnlaidh. Pretty chilly, not gonna lie. We were nice and warm in the tent last night, obviously, but yeah, this morning, wow, feel that tang in the air, all right. Still, means that we're gonna get amazing visibility, because that's the deal in the winter time. If it's super cold, you generally get that nice clear air. So yeah, it's time to stop yakking and get cracking. Well, we're beginning to get some height above these little foothills here, and the sun is beginning to rise on Glen Creran, as you can see. Back there to point 488 of Beinn Fhionnlaidh, and Beinn Fhionnlaidh itself there, or its northwest summit. As for us, going to continue. This is going to be what it looks like for the vast majority of the walk, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to get some cracking views down at Glen Creran. Let's do it. Here we are about 420 metres, approaching what, yes, that is a ridge after this rather shapeless ascent up here, which is over these kind of foothills here, glacial moraine deposits. Yeah, been making our way through fairly boggy ground. Now, I don't have to say if it was bad weather, because I have actually been up here in bad weather. See, I suffer from my art. Came up here last time, rather abortive attempt, because there was zero views and it was pretty wet. So yeah, bogfest down there if the weather isn't great. Now, it's still fairly squishy, even despite the cold temperatures. You can see out to Mull there. Lovely visibility, pretty windy, fairly chilly, but really it should be colder in, as I say, this time of year in Scotland on the hills. Going to continue on up here, and we're going to make our way up to the halfway lock-ins. Let's get up there. Well, here we are, approaching some semblance of verticality. We're about 500 metres now, and you can see the lovely snow-capped hills of Glen Creran have appeared. Beinn Fhionnlaidh, Stop Coran and Albanach, and Stop Gahar over there. Without further ado, before I turn into an icicle, let's bash on up there. Well, just up there you can see what in old Scots is called a bonnet stain. You can see it from fairly far down there, basically once you turn the corner onto this ridge toppy bit here, and that's a good guide for you to aim for. Wow, magnificent Beinn Creran over there you can see. Goodness me, that's rather nice, isn't it? Resplendent in its winter coat. Well, here we are at said halfway lock-in, and it's a darn sight more picturesque than it was last time I was here, I can tell you that. You can see the rest of the route there, got about 300 metres or so up to the summit.
You can see how serious, or more serious I should say, Beinn Fhionnlaidh is from the northeast there. You can see that's a bit more rough and ready way up. The ground is frozen up here mostly, so yeah, not quite as boggy. And yeah, looks like a nice saunter to the top of Beinn Fhionnlaidh. Let's do it. Well, here we are making our way up to the, well, I guess what you would call the elongated summit ridge, just up there. Over there we'll see the rest of the the traverse we have to make. Beautiful seaboard views again. Wow, lovely, man. Fantastic clarity all around. Beinn Fhionnlaidh, resplendent, and Beinn Fhionnlaidh shining in a different way, as we say, from all the water on it. Well, here we are, as I say, the final section here, leading up to the ridge. A bit more snow up here, so yeah, and some bare rock, believe it or not. It's become a proper mountain. Yeah. Grandstand view over to hin-lay over there, and hin-lay behind it. Outstanding. Not too far to go now. Let's smash it. It's super windy up here. mega wind and ultra wind chill, so it's down to about -10 at the moment. As long as you keep moving, it's not too bad. Yeah. See, Loch Etive has come into view there, and we're towering above Glen Creran, as you can see down there. Beinn Fhionnlaidh, it's looking gorgeous, isn't it? And yeah, not too far to go. Let's head on up there. Geez, oh, this wind won't quit. About 40-mile-an-hour gusts we're getting there. It's died down a little bit just now. But yeah, thankfully, the summit is in sight. And you can see quite how remote we are. All the way down there is the nearest road. We're quite a far way up Glen Creran. And here we are, finally, after multiple attempts, we finally succeeded and made it all the way along the highway to hin-lay. Damn! And what a satisfying summit it is. Magnifico! Oh. See it all the way to Glencoe over there. Beinn Fhionnlaidh. Yeah. 360, yes.
By the 1750s, the Lord of Glenure House was Colin Roy Campbell, government factor and lord of 3 estates in Argyll, including Glen Creran, that had been stolen from the Stuarts of Appin, who we learned about last time. These estates had been seized because, among other reasons that we've covered at length in previous videos, the Stuarts of Appin were Jacobites and the Campbells were royal lieutenants in Scotland as a result of their knack for theft, trickery and the cold-blooded mass murder of their countrymen. Colin Campbell had himself evicted many of the Stuarts from their forfeited ancestral lands, and on the evening of the 14th of May 1752 was on his way to forcibly remove more, when he was shot from his horse by an unknown assassin. There was no trace found of the gunman, and no shortage of grassy knolls from which he could have got a good angle on the road below. Given the vast majority of Highland clans, Jacobite or no, hated Clan Campbell, the suspect could pretty much be anyone in the Highlands. The British establishment, however, in the nervy aftermath of what we now know to be its final victory over the Jacobites at Culloden, were enraged, and the Appin Murder was quickly seized upon as evidence the Jacobite threat remained, and thus more severe subjugation of the impudent, supposedly primitive, Highland clan system was required. As we know from the horror of Glencoe, this never ends well for the Highlander. In order to satisfy the establishment outrage, James Stuart of Appin was arrested and hanged by an all-Campbell jury in Inverera, despite the prosecution presenting no evidence whatsoever and Stuart having a solid alibi that placed him several miles away from the scene of the crime. The real killer remains unknown, though several suspects have been suggested, including Alan Breck, here imagined in artwork by Dundee University, or James Stuart's son Donald. Now, if this all sounds like a gross miscarriage of justice, well, it was. Sadly, due to the catastrophe of the Battle of Culloden, which we'll of course cover in detail on the channel in due course, such would be the way of things in the Highlands henceforth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, summit that like button and scramble over to subscribe while you're at it for more episodes and films. Commenting and sharing also really helps the channel to grow, and again, that means more free content like this for you to enjoy. Next time, we visit scenic Kinlochleven to begin our odyssey through the spectacular Mamors in the first of our Great Ranges mini-series. First up, the mighty Am Bodach. Until then, enjoy your adventures.